Okay, I'm out of breath. It was heavy. Awkward. But this release here that I knew wasn't working. But overall, compared to my Trans Am, this thing is mint. Somebody's been in here before. Okay, so now I can get in here. But I think I want to lay on a piece of foam. Well, I got a ton of blankets. Maybe I'll lay those down. And that one. No, that's the screw that's underneath. I couldn't get it out. Getting back to why I took that out. I need to get a wire to that ignition switch. I'm too old, too big, too fat. So I took the seat out. I laid a bunch of blankets. I laid blankets in the hole. There's kind of a hole right there too. It's really hard on my back if there's a hole. But now I got room to lay. I learned my lesson in the Trans Am. The Trans Am is really tight and it's got all kinds of holes. Again, this is swing away steering and there's a bracket right in the way of that key switch, or else I could have got it out. But I need to take that bracket off. I'll show you. Won't be a very good video because it's hard to shoot that close up with this camera. So I'm going to explain to you why I'm taking this seat out. And this is kind of a continuation of the last video. But again, my videos are just running. I'm just working through the whole car slowly. But let me give you an overall first. The alternator is 12 volts. The new distributor needs 12 volts. The old coil only needed like 6.5 to 9 volts. Anything more would overheat the coil and burn it out. I need 12 volts at the new distributor. Remember, this is gone. There's only 6 to 9, like I was saying. So I can use the old wire. In other words, if you put in an electronic distributor, you can use the existing wire, but you don't have 12 volts. So if we follow it back, red, green. See, the red, green, and brown tie together. So let me just go over that first. So the red, green went to the coil. The brown goes over to the starter relay. So if I go back to here, this is the firewall side of the plug. This is the inside of the car side. So the red, green, see, it splits into two right here. But on this side, it's pink. The pink is a resistance wire. That's what's lowering it down to 6 to 9 volts. So I need to get rid of that resistance wire somehow. So again, if we follow that resistance wire, according to this, there's a plug I need to get rid of this pink wire from here to over here. So I'm probably just going to run a wire from here. Again, the pink turns into a red-green, so I'm basically going to either disconnect that or tie into it, run a wire under my dash, and poke it out over here somewhere. Tie into these wires, and maybe just cut these other two and tape them off for now, in case I ever need them. So I think I can leave the pink wire, actually. Just splice in right here. So I'm just altogether bypassing the pink. Yeah, that's what I need to do. So that's why I took the seat out. I'll get into the dash and I'll show you. There's a piece of metal right there. Okay, I'm under the dash. So the key, you see my finger here? The key is like right there, but I don't know if I can point to it. I don't have enough room. But this thing, again, it's the best I can do for a close-up. Here's the column. This is the swing away bracket. It's right in my way. But if you see that yellow wire right there? And then right to the left, there's a black with a green stripe. If you look beyond that, you can see it's turning pink. That is where I need to disconnect it. Yeah, man, this bracket is right in the stinking way. There's an easy way to disconnect it. It appears that the steering column is tied to that. But watch this right here. Here's the steering column. There's the lever. The way you work the swing way is you pull it up or down. Let's see, up. Let me see, what am I got going here? I'm shifting gears right now. Okay, what that's doing is this piece here, you see that plate? It's in, my hand's not on the column, on the shifter. So when you're not lifting it, it's hitting this plate, so it can't slide. See that? If I push up, again, it's hard to do it from down here. Yeah, you gotta push up, pull up, and then it can slip by. Actually, when I turn it a little bit, it goes up higher. I don't know what that means. And there's the spring, it's spring loaded. Anyway, let me, I just can't get I can't get two hands in there. What is the easiest way to do this? Okay, it does unplug. I was able to get two hands, barely. So this is really, I could just not use this pink wire anymore. I don't know if I have any of these connectors. There's that connector. I'm just gonna leave that hanging up in there. It won't be hot because it gets hot from here. Actually, there's one right here. That's perfect size. I need to see if I can get this out. Okay, I got it out of here. This is the piece I need right here. Perfect fit. Again, this is the piece I'm tying into under the dash. Just need to plug that in. And then splice a piece of wire in. It's the same gauge. And that's it. Sometimes this junk comes in handy. Okay, I spliced it together. It's tight. Pull a hole on the engine side. Push this through. Okay, I got it. While I was under here, I sprayed this swing away with penetrating oil. It slides here and here. You see the yellow wire back there? It's going through the firewall, comes up, follows the wire loom, and makes a connection right there. That one that's unplugged, that's the old pink wire. I don't need that. That's the resistor wire. Okay, I took this track off. The spring here looks like this. It slips into here. So to get it off, you have to tilt it like that. Same thing on this side. I'm going to take it off, tilt it, and tighten this down. I don't know. I'm just going to tighten it down. 1/4 inch. If not, I'll just take it off and readjust it. So I just need to pull this out of here, I guess. Yeah, how do I get it out of there? Like that. And I'll tighten this down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I need something. I can't turn this with my hand. 3. I turned it in 10 full turns. I figured out how you can tell. Put one side on first. Let's say this side. Hook the spring on this side. Tilted like I said. Put this screw in here. And when you go to push the top over, it should be tight right when it gets to that screw. If it goes like way over here, you know what I'm saying? There's still slop in the spring. But I just happened to get it where it was. There's still some slop in there. But yeah, I'm gonna move this handle. It's working. It seems like there's still a little bit of slop. Again, the way to tell, I'll show you. Follow this. So this screws in. That side's done. This is loose. So when I push it over, okay, I'm gonna push it over and let go. See, it springs back. If I want to get it a little bit tighter, a couple more turns, because watch that spring right there is where the hole is now. If I want to move it over to the right, it's not that much, but I think I'm going to do it another 2 or 3 turns. Okay, I did 14 full turns. Now look at it. So I suggest, after doing this, get it tight, then use the lever, then try it again. But because the spring might straighten up when you stretch it. Anyway, it works perfect now. Perfect. Now I'm going to put it back in. I'm just going to get some new bolts because these are ridiculous. The nuts come off. But that's my thread size. I'm going to put it back in, get some new bolts. I'm going to slide it all the way forward or all the way back and see if I got enough leg room. If I don't, I'm going to fix it. That's one of the problems with the Trans Am. It's just too tight for me. It's hot. It's hot in here. It's been cool and now it's got hot. It's 109, 108. Anyway, I'm going to stop here today. All I really wanted to do is get that wire in. So here it is. Goes through that grommet. And I'll hook it up tomorrow. And well, when I turn the key on, this should get hot. And it should be 12 volts. Yeah, one more thing before I leave. It was a kind of a pain getting this out of here because the brackets are lower than that hump. And they catch here and they catch there. I'm thinking about getting 2 2x4s. Then I can slide them in on the 2x4s and then just move the 2x4s out of the way. And these studs here, maybe I talked about it, maybe I didn't. I think these are right. I was thinking about it. You could screw them into the nut on the bottom of the seat It's like this. Then you put the nut. Then you could, tighten them all the way down. Drop it in the hole, then put the nut on the bottom. These probably are right. Well, yeah, I think. But again, that's another reason for the 2x4, because if I have these studs on here, they're going to drag on everything. And the other thing is I don't want it to drag. Let's say it's all reupholstered. I don't have two people. I don't want to rip the bottom of the material or catch it or break the spring. The spring is loose again. That's pretty interesting. How did it loosen up that fast? It still works. Yeah, and they're 3/8/16. I'll tell you, I use this thing all the time. Okay. The problem, sometimes you go to the hardware stores and they don't have anything to check the threads. So it's better to go prepared. Yeah, I decided to go to lumberyard today, not tomorrow morning. Get it over with. Yeah, I figured this way I can slide the seat in and just move the 2x4s out of the way. And the door will keep the 2x4s from sliding. Yeah, I'm cleaning all the threads on the seat track. I don't want any resistance at all. Okay, I put the seat back in. You can see how forward it is. It's ridiculous. It's for like people that are like 5 feet tall or 3 feet tall. So I'm gonna get in and go all the way back. I might want to extend this, move this track back 2 inches. I can't even get in here. I need to have my body against it to push back, but I can't squeeze in there. I mean, I can hold the lever, but then only this side of the seat moves. This sucks. So this is where the swing away steering comes in, but that's as far as it swings. But I think I can get in there now. So you can see there's center. It went over about that much. So I got in. This is the seat all the way forward. Look at my knees. I can't even do anything. Okay, like I said, I'm 6'2". I got my butt all the way pushed back. But I can't put my legs straight. I need like 2 more inches. I mean, I can drive it. It just, for a long period of time, this will not be comfortable. So here goes the swing away steering. No, you have to go to park. I'm going up to park. I mean, this way and then that way. Watch, up, over. So watch me get out. And I can't open the door all the way, but I can just swing over. But if I have this over here, it starts hitting my leg right here. Anyway, that's swing away steering for you. Anyway, I'm going to pull the seat out, and I think I'm going to go back 2 more inches. I just can't. Even in the modern cars, like I have a 2009 Escape. If I put my foot behind the pedal, I can get my legs straight. I can't do that on this one. You know when sometimes you just want to straighten out your leg? I can't do it. And I got short legs. That lever does not work unless I'm sitting in the seat. I need to have my body weight towards the center. So I might also tighten up that spring further. So I got to take it back out. Okay, so I want to move it back 2 inches. So if I do, what happens? I'm right in this slot here. And over here, one other option. You could leave these holes alone, weld or bolt. Yeah, you could just bolt a flat plate on here. I might do that. I think I'm going to do that. That way, if I don't like it, I can just unbolt it and put it back. That's my plan. You know, this shop smells like gas. There's no vent on these gas tanks, like the newer cars. I don't smell anything coming out of that gas tank. I don't smell anything here. But I think that smell's coming from? This. There was a vent on there, but I had to drill a hole because it kept expanding. And anyway. Yeah, I can smell it. I just need to put a plug in that. I had one more thought. This is strong because it has a bend in it. In other words, it's a solid piece. If I put a flat piece on here, it's not going to be as strong. Maybe I need to get like an angle iron. That'll give it, I think, twice as much strength. Yeah, I looked again. I do have an angle iron. This would be perfect. I'll have to notch it. The spring is. This is what I'm going to use. Good. Something I don't understand here. Why is that rock? See what I was thinking wrong. I got to cut this right here. This has to sit flat, I think. So here's the existing holes. Again, it's supported underneath. You can see there's a thicker piece of metal under there. But you got to drill one more hole right there. That's because I'm going back 3 inches. Seat used to fall in that hole. And it used to fall in this hole. But now it needs to fall in this hole. Well, it can't. The floor drops off, and that's plastic. So if to move it back 3 inches, I got to drop the seat into that hole and into the hole it isn't here. But now I realize those holes are wrong because this has to go like this. So I need to, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. Ready? I'm looking at it like that. Now I have to think like this and go over like that and think upside down here, but I got to think backwards. That's what my head's doing. You see that camera? It's been doing that for 2 hours. Okay, I built these damn brackets. I'm gonna paint them. Yeah, I got another oil tank leak. You see this hose? This thing's filled up to here. I hope. Of course, it's metric. Anyway, I want to tighten that. That's where I think it's leaking. Okay, I finished these yesterday. Today's today. It's past 3 o'clock. I spent the whole day screwing around with these things, but here it is, and I'm just going to explain it in case anybody wants to do it. So there's the stock holes. You can see the bolts; they go right in. So I'm going to use the same holes. Now the seat moves back 3 inches. So this stays here. The seat moves back 3. So the bolt in the seat drops into here, and it drops into here. This here doesn't have that much room. So I got a short bolt. So I guess what I'm saying is it's going to have solid bolting here, here, and here in 3 spots. That's more than it did stock. Same on that side. I don't know why it was so confusing for me. I think because I took the seat out and I turned it and then I flipped it upside down. But I finally got it figured out. And yeah, I welded 2 studs on here and cut the heads off. This I raked because the seat is moved back 3 inches. I don't know if anybody would hit that, but you won't now, especially with carpet. Back here, I put a little rake on here, but the seat ends here. So that's it. So now, when you take it over to here, this is what gets confusing for me. You take it out of the car, then you flip it upside down. You line that, so that's how it looks. See, here's the stock bolt here and here. So the stock bolt's going to come through here, and the stock bolt's going to come through here. It's almost the same as that, except you're moving it 3 inches. And in the middle of all this, I ran out of gas, so I had to go get gas. And I fixed that oil tank leak. It was just a hose. I just tightened it. Yeah, someday I'm gonna have to reupholster this seat. But so I'm gonna take the back off. I think I know how to do it. I think I talked about it before, but you have this pin. I was thinking that it was one solid piece and it had some kind of bar through here, but I think looking at this, it just slips into the slot. So I'm going to take the back of the seats off. Yeah, I think there's a pin up in here. So that means I gotta flip it back over. I just flipped it. Anyway, I got the seats off. That's gonna be it for this week. I just blew the whole week on those seat brackets. Again, I'm just working through this car. Give me something to do. I'm not in a rush. There's one thing I discovered. Again, I've been working on this wiring for a while. I'm not smart enough, but I think I finally got it. And I'm gonna explain one wire. This wire right here, the ignition wire, I don't need this anymore. That's if you have the old coil. This gives that 12 volt boost that I keep talking about. So that runs back into that splice. So when you energize the starter, it jumps 12 volts through here, it runs back through those splice and into the coil. But now that the coil is gonna be 12 volts all the time, I'm gonna just get rid of this wire. Maybe I'll just undo it and tape it off right there. So I don't need to splice into 2 wires. I just need to splice into 1 wire. So we'll hit it again next week. Again, I'm just taking my time. I enjoy taking things apart, seeing how they work. Yeah, one last thing. This cover was glued on here with some kind of adhesive, but before I left the shop, I decided to spray some of this on. Just takes it right off. Well, still feels grimy. Look at the blue. Look at the blue that's coming off. Anyway, next week, see what I do next week.